Hello, this is your professor, Dr. Eric Mortensen. I just wanted to check in here, see how everybody's doing, make a few announcements. Um, Things are going pretty well, as you probably know. We're moving into the end of the term. Papers are going to start getting drafted, and things are going to move along very quickly. So just be aware. You need to kind of, if you're a little bit behind, it's best to try to get caught up. Things will move quickly towards the end, and you'll have a lot of paper writing and revising going on. Now, just to say a few things about the annotated bibliography and how that plays into to our papers. Uh, a few things. I thought for the most part everyone's annotated bibliography was pretty good. If I made comments or you're not sure, a couple of you had some problems, contact me. We can have an email exchange or maybe even a Zoom exchange to discuss it. Uh, but overall, I think things are pretty well done. A few notes. One thing is you might want to name the type of source. A lot of you just kind of, I had a hard time figuring out sometimes what source. Was it a book? Was it an article? Was it a website? And that speaks to your annotation, but also your citation. Um, but you might want to kind of talk about that. Also, a lot of people had problems with, they didn't really mention how they were going to use the source. Remember, these sources, this isn't just an exercise in gathering a bunch of sources. It's about how to take sources, how to do research, find sources, and then, focus them on your paper so that you can use them for your paper. So I kind of wanted to see a little bit more about how you planned on using the source. Source doesn't do much good if you don't know how you're going to use it or if it doesn't fit into your topic. On that note, too, you might want to critique the source. I mean, you should be critical of these sources. Make sure that they're good, they're not biased, they're valid. We had all this material before, so you should be able to evaluate those pretty well. What that means going forward is, for a lot of people are really on target, and I think that's good. But for those of you that aren't, I mean, you need to kind of narrow your focus, make sure you have a working thesis that's focused, and it's probably going to have to be narrow. A lot of people had topics, and they needed to be a little bit more focused. This is a longer research paper. It's time. A broad topic at the beginning is fine, but now it's getting to the point where you need to kind of really have a thesis that's going to work for you and guide your paper, and you can't really have it be too broad. Several of the annotated bibliographies I saw seemed to kind of, sort of like a shotgun. There was a bunch of, they generally were organized around a topic, but I didn't always get a sense of what you yourself were going to argue given these sources. So, as we're going forward, make sure that you get a good handle on what it is you're arguing. You don't want to find yourself producing a paper that doesn't really cohere because you don't have a focused argument. A few small things. Um, you know, get the citations right. I mean, I didn't really take too many points off for that on the annotated bibliography, but certainly for the paper, you want to have your citations done correctly. And you have materials. I've included materials in the course that'll help you do that. So, take a look at those and make sure you cite properly. And finally, remember that I make comments on the in-text as well. So when you get your materials back, get your grade back, I give you sort of a general summary. But remember that in the text, unless it's just sort of a general, do it or you don't do it kind of assignment. We've had some of those earlier. I didn't give you too many in-text comments, but for most of these assignments, I give you in-text comments. So make sure you read those. Those are oftentimes more detailed. That's where I kind of say, hey, here's what you did, and here's an issue, or here's a question I have. All right. So I wish everybody the best of luck. I'm interested to read these papers. I mean, you got some interesting topics. I think it's going to be kind of fun. But you need to focus. And if you haven't been doing the research or you don't have enough research, I mean, you need to kind of get out there and do it so that you're ready to write these papers. All right. Okay. Look forward to reading them, and best of luck.